Hi there, and welcome to Bullet Journaling to Achieve Your Goals. I'm Katie, a librarian assistant with the Public Library of Mount Vernon in Knox County. The past few months have felt like we've hit the reset button on our lives, which makes it the perfect opportunity to reflect on and make adjustments to our lives. Bullet journaling is a great way to write out your goals and track your progress. What is bullet journaling? Bullet journaling is a creative way to track your schedule, set and maintain goals, and record memories all in one place. There are a variety of products out there, some of which I've displayed here, to make your journal more pretty or with preset layouts to make things easier. But the best part of this craft is you really only need 2 items to do it. Something to write on and something to write with. Today, I'm going to show you how to create your journal out of pieces of paper, how to set up a weekly spread, and how to set up a goal tracker. I'll also give you some examples of other layouts you can try. Let's get started. Okay, a quick and easy way to make your own journal is to use a few sheets of paper and a little bit heavier paper for the cover. And for this one, I'm going to use hole punch and some string to tie it together. You can also use staples if you would like, or any other fastening method that you would be comfortable with. One thing to note, I am using standard 8.5 by 11 scrapbook paper. Again, you can use any paper you want. So when I made my cover sheet, I made it a 1/2 inch bigger on the long side so that when I fold it in half, the pages don't stick out. So the first step is to take each sheet of paper and the cover, and we are going to fold it in half, just like so. Normally I would put more than 3 pieces in my journal, but for the sake of time, we're going to do it with just 3. Okay, and then now my cover. Okay, so then we're going to take all the inner pages and we're going to put one inside of another. And then once we're done with that, we're going to stick it in our cover. And then we're going to even everything out. And then open it up a little bit so that we can punch a couple of holes on either end, right in the middle. And then we put the string either outside in or inside out, whichever you prefer, if you want the tie to be inside or outside. And then pull the string through so that it's about even on either side. And then we're going to tie a knot as tight as we can, which is sometimes hard when you only have 2 hands. If you have a friend, you can have them help you. And after you have the knot, you can either tie a bow or cut off the excess. And then you just fold it back together. And there you go. You have a planner ready to go. And our next step will be to add a weekly layout so that you can start planning for your goals. The beauty of the bullet journal is you can customize your weekly spreads to have as much room for what you want, and you can cut out all of the things that you don't want. So this is one of my sample weekly spreads. I like the 3-column method because I can add a habit tracker and track my moods. And then on the second page, I can keep track of the meals that I'm planning, as well as having plenty of room to write down appointments and other important things. So let's give this a try. So I recommend starting with a pencil, just because if you don't have things the way that you want it, you can erase it and start over. And then I just go over it with a pen or a marker. So what I'm going to do is draw a line across the middle of the page on both pages. And you can freehand it, or you can use a ruler like I'm doing. And I'm actually going to start on the with the end of the week and work my way to the left. So then we need to cut this in thirds, at least the first column. So the first line I'm going to do top to bottom. And then for the next one, I am just going to go down to my middle line like that. So it should look like this. And since the seam is right there in the middle, to do the other side, it's basically going to be a mirror image of the one that we just did. So I'm going to draw a line down the middle, all the way down. And then I'm going to do the top row in thirds. And you notice that I'm not measuring. I'm just eyeballing it and using the ruler as a straight edge. And then for this last one, I am going to go all the way down again. So there's the start of our weekly spread. Then you can cut these bigger pieces, these bigger squares, in half, or not even in half, but making it so that there are two, at least on that first page. So I'm going to go from the middle out to my last line. And then I'm going to leave this one alone. And then if you want, you can draw lines at the top of the boxes so that you can put your date or day of the week. So you can just go straight across like this. And same with the titles on our bigger ones. right. All right, so this is what our grid looks like. Then I am just going to fill in the information. So as I said, you can make it any way you want. So if you like to start your week on Sunday, then you can write Sunday up here. Or if you want to start your week on a Monday, you can put Monday in this first box. I'm going to go ahead and put Sunday. And again, I'm using pencil. So if you wanted to make the letters fancy, you could later, but then at least you know how your layout will work. And then for these 3 boxes on the bottom, you can do what you want with them. I've seen a lot of people put self-care, leave one of them for notes. You can do any kind of habit tracker, or if you're trying to lose weight, you can use it for tracking your water, or how much you've lost, how much activity you've had. So it's completely customizable. To make it just like mine, I'm going to put my menu over here. And then I'm going to split this. For each day. And if you wanted to, you could even split this in half and do like lunch and dinner, or in thirds for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whatever your eating habits are. On this side, I use this big box to do the week. So this one we'll do as June 14th through I think it's the 21st. So that way when I turn to the page, I know what week I'm looking at. Then for this, I'm going to put the bigger box is going to be the habit tracker. So then I can break it down to however many habits I want to track that week. We'll just do 3 for this one. And then you can break it into 7 boxes. And then you would put your particular habits. The ones that I used were I wanted to read more, I wanted to track my spending, and I wanted to write in my bullet journal, which the shortened version of bullet journal is Bujo, B-U-J-O. And then once I read for each day, then I would just either exit off, or you can color it in, whatever way you want to note that you actually did it. And then this last box, I put moods. And same thing, we're going to split it into 7. And then you can use any kind of method to track that you want. Some people use colors for how they're feeling. Some people use smiley face, frowny face, any way that works best for you. So we have our first layout. I would recommend doing probably a month of them at a time just to make it easy. You can always tweak it if it doesn't work for you. I tried a few different layouts before I decided that this one was the one that I wanted to do. So have fun with it, and you are all set for tracking your appointments and what you're going to eat and how you're going to spend your time. All right, so the next step we have is to make a goal tracker. Have you ever wished that you could have more money or possibly add to your savings for the next time something awful happens? The bullet journal is perfect for tracking your savings or any other financial goals. So for this one, and these will be in your packets at the Mount Vernon Library if you would like to use them. In your packet, we'll have two cutouts. One is a treasure chest, and one is a pig. So you could have a piggy bank if you wanted. Since my paper is pink, I'm going to use the treasure chest. The first step is I am going to put some glue on my treasure chest. And again, if you don't have glue, you can just draw something that makes you think of saving. Then I'm just going to stick it on my paper and let it dry. You can embellish it any way that you want, or you can just leave it as it is. So then the next step, after you've decided how much money you would like to save, another good thing you could do is if you were saving to buy something like a couch or a car, you could use a picture of the item as inspiration on a page like this. So for this one, let's just say you're trying to save money. For example, if I wanted to save $500, I'm going to put in pencil, and then we can cover it with pen later. Say I want to save $500. So I'm going to write $500 in the box. Then I am going to, in some way, mark out a certain number of things that I can then color in. So for this, I'm going to use circles just because it reminds me of coins or gold doubloons, anything you want. If you wanted to do just a bunch of squares, you wanted to do stars, whatever you would like. And one way you can do circles is by taking the cap of your glue, and then you can trace around it. Again, in pencil, you can go over it later. So in this case, if I wanted, then you would need to come up with how much you're going to save at any one time. So let's say I wanted to save $25 a week, or a month, or however long you would like it to be. Then you would figure out how many weeks you would need to save $25 to get your $500. And then you would draw as many circles as that would take. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to do a few circles. And you can even use the other side of this page so that you have room. If you wanted to save a little bit at a time, you could even do different sizes. For like this one could be $1. And then this one could be like $100. Just make sure that when all of these add up, it'll be the amount you need. Then once you have saved the money, you can use like a colored pencil or even just a regular pencil to color in. Actually, let me switch to a little bit darker pencil so you can see. You'll color in the circles, and once all of the circles are colored in, you will have reached your goal. And this works for any kind of tracker that you would like. You can adapt it for weight loss, for drinking more water, or paying down debt. The possibilities are endless. And as you can see, it just takes a minute or two to make. And it can be as fancy or as simple as you would like. So stay tuned for a final goodbye from me and some examples of some of the layouts that I've done for the little bit more advanced crafters that may be watching. All right, thanks for sticking around for this last part, the inspiration portion of our video today. On my right, I have the books on bullet journaling that are available at the library. So they are really basic. The bullet journal 365 bullet guide is one that has a lot of layouts that are very easy and show you how to do different trackers and other pieces of inspiration, even some doodles in the back to make your journal a little fancier without any extra cost, which is great. Hack Your Journal is my personal favorite. It's still very simple, using lots of different colored markers, and that's about it. To do your trackers, there's a bunch of great layouts. They look really complicated, but they're actually not. Journal Me Organized is for the more crafty of bullet journalers. It goes into the tools that you can use and some basics, but then it adds a creative element to it. So for example, it shows how to add some like acrylic backgrounds, adding watercolor to your pages. So if you really just wanted to make it pretty or try something new, there's even some lettering, photographic journaling, all kinds of different techniques that you can use to make your journal everything that it can be. And then Beyond Bullets is another one that's very basic. It does go into the different kinds of journals, different kinds of styles, but the layouts are pretty simple, and just use either one color or just a couple of colors to make it really quick and easy. Earlier this year, we had started a journaling club on the 4th Thursday of the month. Hopefully in the future, we will be able to do that again. But in the meantime, feel free to come visit the library and show me your pages. You can share them on our social media, or you can show me when you come into the library. So our first project with the club was creating a vision board. So this is what mine looks like. I had basically 4 major goals and wrote down how I was going to achieve them, and then just used a bunch of stickers. I have a weakness for stickers, so I used a lot of them on this layout. On the next couple pages are other versions of the vision board, and it is I found them on Pinterest and printed them off, resized them, and just glued them in my journal. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy or extravagant. And then finally, this one is my personal favorite. I got the idea from Pinterest. For those of us who don't like doing chores, you can create like a Tetris board and then make each chore a different piece, and then you can color in the grid as you go. And once you fill up the grid, then you can treat yourself to something nice. So I hope that this has been educational for you and that you have found a love of bullet journaling. I love talking about it, love seeing what people do. So feel free to come visit. And with this, I do have at the library, at the Mount Vernon Library, a selection of things that you could glue into your journals. So I have a limited number of packets. So when you come to the library, you can ask for them, or call the reference desk and I can set one aside for you. So I can't wait to see what you come up with, and hope to see you soon. Bye.